There is a village on the east coast of England where the locals built a church inside another church, and where the sea is eating up land so quickly that entire roads simply vanish into thin air or down a cliff, and where in a few decades this spot where I'm standing might be underwater. This is Covehithe. Now, this bit of coastline has a problem. It's soft. Let me show you how. I've just picked this off the floor. It's literally soft. Look, literally. The cliffs around me are made of this sand, clay and gravel. Not exactly the sort of thing you'd choose if you wanted your coastline to stick around for the long haul. This is Suffolk, and Suffolk's coast is one of the fastest eroding in Europe. On average, 2 metres of land disappear every single year. That's 2 full paces gone. Sometimes it's more dramatic. You see in the storms, huge chunks of land collapse overnight. And once it's gone, it is gone for good. The sea takes no refunds. Now, Covehithe isn't the only village to get chomped away by the North Sea. If you go back to the Domesday Book in 1086, there were dozens of places along Suffolk and Norfolk that just don't exist anymore. Dunwich, for example, was once a thriving port city, the size of medieval London, with 8 churches, 5 religious houses and 2 seats in Parliament. Today, most of it is under the sea. Locals say, if you listen carefully on a calm night, you can still hear the church bells ringing beneath the waves. Unlikely, but it is a nice story. Covehithe, though, is special. Unlike Dunwich, it's not entirely gone yet. About 20 people still live here. There's no pub, there's no shop, and the main road just stops at the cliff edge. But we're no longer allowed to walk down that road, for it is dangerous, for worries that the cliff might collapse further. But the end of the B1127 is just cliff and then sea. It's sort of Britain's answer to Route 66, but instead of the highway disappearing into the desert, it disappears into the North Sea. Now, admittedly, that would have made Cars a much shorter movie. But the real reason I'm here is this. St Andrew's Church, or rather the church inside St Andrew's Church. The tower dates from the 15th century, when Covehithe was a proper village with money from wool exports. The original church was enormous, over 60 metres long, with a tall nave and big windows. But in the 1600s, a few things went wrong. The population shrank, the money dried up, and Cromwell's Puritans smashed up a lot of fancy church decorations. Because of course, well, they did. And by the 1670s, the villagers couldn't afford to maintain the colossal building anymore. So they came up with a wonderfully English solution. Let's just build a smaller church inside of the big church. They took down most of the nave, they salvaged bricks and timber, and built a modest thatched roof church in the chancel. And that is still in use today. So you've got ruined arches and towering walls outside, a perfectly functional little church inside. It's like Russian dolls, but with churches. And despite these crumbling cliffs, the howling wind and the population that could fit into a single minibus, services are still held here. You have weddings, christenings, and Christmas carol services. People keep coming back because this place is beautiful and more than a little bit magical. I mean, look at it. How many places do you know where you can step out of a tiny thatched church and immediately find yourself in a medieval ruin surrounded by birdsong and the sound of waves crashing nearby? But the clock is ticking. These cliffs are getting closer every single year. At the current rate of erosion, St Andrew's Church might fall into the sea sometime in the next 50 to 100 years, but of course, erosion doesn't work like clockwork. One massive storm could speed things up by decades. And when it goes, it will take centuries of history with it. Now, sadly, we can't move the church, and we can't hold back the sea forever. And part of me thinks maybe that's how it should be. You see, this coast has always been shifting. The Domesday Book records a different coastline. The medieval maps look nothing like today's, and places come and they go. The sea gives and the sea takes away. But for now, Covehithe is still here, a village clinging to the edge of England. A church inside a church, and a coastline that reminds us how temporary even the most solid stone can be. So, if you get the chance, come and see it before the sea takes it away. Thank you for watching. This has been Sky Explores, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and come back again soon.